So, Katie, do you have some phone and email templates? Is there some stuff that you have ready that you want to go over? I saw that's what you put into the into Circle.
Yeah, sure. I can definitely do that. Get it up here. So I've only like recently started working with you guys. So I'm very early on in this process and also very new to sales in general. But it was suggested to me by Matt, I believe, that I hop on one of these calls to sort of go over what I've learned from the stage one and stage two training courses. Um, so with that being said,
To the right
here
place.
we go. Good. I'm glad. Taking notes. But if you can see it there, I sort of looked over the template and um, long story short, you might remember we've worked with Emily Matheson
Yep.
from Waterworth. That's
Yep.
my boss. She referred me to you guys. Um, so we sell water software to a lot of communities in the States. And in the new year, we're going to prospect the state of Illinois. And a huge thing that happened recently that affects the state and all their municipal water systems is the EPA, which is like the Environmental Protection Association, I
Yeah.
think.
I used to
Um,
work in construction, so
oh, so you know all about
relate to
that.
the EPA. Yeah.
Yeah. So between the EPA and the Illinois governor, they just passed a really large piece of legislation about replacing lead and copper pipes. And this is sort of in response to Michigan and Flint and the water crisis there because it affects
Yeah.
Illinois as well. So a lot of communities are finding themselves in a position where they suddenly have to dig up their like 70-year-old lead pipes all of a sudden, and it's like being mandated really strictly. So with that in mind, this is sort of my initial outreach email template. Cold calling, just no contact with them before. So this is
Yeah.
sort of what I pulled off of the training videos as well.
This is great. Can you copy and paste that and drop it into the chat?
Yeah,
And then
definitely.
I'm going to put it on a document we can edit. And then yeah, Hinal and Anthony. I don't know if you saw Scott's chat in there, but if you guys could have your sequence open up, I'm going to go through the reply method framework just so you can guys can kind of see the framework behind this and make some tweaks to your sequence. Because I looked at your sequence and I'm going to have some similar feedback for your guys' sequence to this one. Are you able to drop that into the chat, Katie?
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but it's on my window right now. There.
There we go. Okay, I'm going to grab the screen from you. Okay. So this news here, let's come up with a subject line also. Okay, so with this news, are the people that you're reaching out to gonna know about the news?
Yes, 100%. It's like it
Yeah.
started, they just passed it this summer. So everyone's kind of scrambling because it starts to take initial effect in January of 2022.
Okay. So what do you think you could use for a subject line? And I already kind of threw an idea out there up at the top, but what do you think you could use for a subject line that would grab their attention?
Uh, Something along the lines of new EPA legislation or restrictions or requirements.
Yeah, any of that stuff's great. I think you're gonna have a pretty good open rate. Anthony and all, have you guys been sending out cold emails yet? Do you guys have any data on your sequences or anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, what kind of open rates have you guys been getting?
Open rates are pretty high. The
Yeah.
replies, not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of open rate?
Um, I'll have to. I mean, it depends on what campaign that you're talking about. We have multiple going. I guess the one that we did within the Google Doc that we did for our homework that we were supposed to do. I'll just use that one. We were going after indirect procurement
Yeah.
um, campaign. It looks like. Sorry, I'm pulling this up.
Yeah, I want you to have a baseline, everyone here of like what is good and what is bad, just so you kind of know what to improve with your subject line. So while you're pulling that up, Anthony, I want to show you guys something that's kind of interesting. So if you kind of look at, I want to show you a couple things. So here's my inbox with all of the cold emails that I get, and your prospects are getting more cold emails probably than I do. Let's just look. What do you guys notice about the subject lines?
They're too long.
And very generic.
Yeah, they're pretty long. A lot of them are pretty generic. They kind of look like, so Katie, you come from marketing, right? You're
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah.
The biggest mistake that we can make with sales emails is making them look like marketing emails.
Yeah.
So when you see stuff like this, it
That's so
looks
funny.
like,
Yeah.
and I'm also a marketer, by trade too, so it's nothing against marketers. Because I think prospecting is probably more of a marketing activity than a sales activity. But look at now my promotions folder. You guys see these are what emails look like in my promotions folder. And a lot of the cold emails use very similar types of subject lines. You'll notice little things like the
Mhm.
first letter of every word is capitalized. So Dan Scott. So the reason why this is a great subject line is because it doesn't look like a newsletter email, right? And then if you look at
Mhm.
my inbox, look at how you email someone that you know. That was fun. Revamp content, sales training, scheduling link, follow up from today. So you want to email your prospects in a way that is very similar to how they email people that they know or how you email people that you know. And one of the first things that you want to do is really email them and use a subject line that's a little bit more like if you knew this person. If I was sending an email about the EPA, I might just make the subject line EPA,
Mhm.
Interesting.
especially if it's top of mind for the person. It's just like one word. I do like what you suggested too, though, Katie, around new EPA. You can even do this is a little kind of trick too. Just don't even capitalize the first letter. Another thing that you could do is you could say,
The lawyer in me is having a heart attack right now.
Yeah.
yeah. And I know you guys work on, contract software and stuff like that. So know your audience as well. So if you're reaching out to, a highly educated bunch that you like lawyers, for example. If I was reaching out to lawyers, I might want to be a little more proper. You know what I'm saying? Um, so this is kind of interesting too. Again, this is like if I was emailing Scott about the new EPA regulations, I might just like say, hey, Scott, see the new EPA regulations. Anthony and all, do you guys want to go over your sequence?
Yeah, this was actually done by our sales team. So
Yeah.
I wanted to take theirs because what we do is we have our SDRs, our sales development representatives, manage an outbound campaign. So it runs in the background as we're targeting and doing more strategic executed outreach. This is kind of just sending emails out, and we give them a lot of freedom to write up these emails, but more importantly, coach them on opportunities to improve their emails and pointing out. So I wanted to see from your perspective how it looks and then changes that you would make. So this could be relayed to my team and almost give them a foundation of how some of these emails should and could be structured moving forward with the bullet points that we're discussing today.
Yeah. So is this the sequence that we're looking at here?
Yeah. No, that is actually, no, this one's mine. The one that I put in the chat, I guess, was a different one. Okay, so that was,
you
I
dropped
pulled
something
one
into
from
the chat.
indirect. This is
We can
procurement.
look at the
Okay.
one in the chat too if you want. Which one do you want to look at?
Actually, let's just go to what you had pulled up just a second ago.
Okay. So let me ask you guys though, because this is part of my job is to coach you so that you can be self-sufficient with this. What do you guys think of these emails after we've just kind of discussed everything we've discussed just now? What do you think of these emails?
I think it could be shortened. There's information that is almost reiterated and talked about. But then again, it's biased because I wrote it. So I mean, me and Hanol both, we collaborated on it. So I think they're effective. I think that with the open rate of 10% on, 250 emails, like that's not terrible. It could be better, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my view on it, just after hearing this conversation so far, is maybe we talk less about the features
Yeah.
and the capabilities, and start. And to your point earlier about, let's have more of a conversation about why contracts suck.
Yeah. Okay. That right there could be a subject line, by the way. Can you
Why
guys give
why
me
contracts
edit?
suck?
Yeah, can you guys give me edit access to this real quick? And then I'll, if it's okay with you guys, we could just we can
Mhm.
just do a variation. Are you guys cool if we edit this document?
Yeah,
Yep, you're
Okay.
good to go.
yeah. This is actually we use Woodpecker as our cold email tool, so we can
Yeah.
just take this and move it right over once you're done.
Yeah, I'm very familiar. I just did a webinar with those guys. Okay.
Sorry to interject, just a heads up that I might dip out in about 10 minutes or so to go into an appointment, but I just want to be able to say thank you so much for all of the help.
Yeah. As long as you close the appointment, that's good. As long as you close the deal.
Before you go, Katie, I want to say congratulations on your white paper.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
that on LinkedIn.
Thank you. Yeah,
Good
it was
stuff.
5 months in the making, so I'm happy that it's done finally.
Yeah, so now's the perfect time to start the next one.
Yeah, oh yeah. They're on me about it, don't worry.
Okay. So, I'm assuming the spacing, you will have paragraph breaks in the spacing.
Mhm.
That's just a
Mhm.
copy and pasting formatting thing. Okay. So, like, let's just first start with the subject line. So we can come up with some variations of this. We already talked about one. Why contracts suck. That's pretty provocative. You got to bring the fire in the rest of your email, though, if we're going to use that as the subject line.
Right. Yeah, you got to carry through on that one.
Yeah, we can't underwhelm the prospect.
Right.
What would be something even more simple that we could do for a subject line? And ideally, you guys, do you have a real prospect that we could write this to?
What do you mean? Like
Yeah, like a LinkedIn profile of someone that this email would actually go to.
that's a good question. Sure.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have thousands of prospects.
Yeah,
Um,
if you could find one and share it, that would be great, because then we could write a real email to someone.
How about someone that we recently that came in our inbounds or something like? How about
That works
this
too. That works too.
Gabrielle Walker at Contentful? Who is this person? Let's see.
And remind me again, your guys' ICPs, like who are you what kind of companies, what kind of job
Yeah.
titles, that kind of thing.
So it's the intersection of legal and procurement.
Yep.
So it's general counsel. So Gabrielle Walker, she submitted. She wanted to access our contract playbook template on our website. She's senior legal counsel, head of commercial at Contentful
Yep, got it. Okay.
or Contentful. Sorry, I don't know how to say that.
Okay. So here's the reason why I want to do this is that I want to just remind ourselves that when we're creating templates, these templates are going to people. And what I find is that the template just turns out a lot better when we write this to an actual person.